Yeah, it's rich in bunly goodness.
Do you remember when you lost your passion for this work?
I invited another friend. I hope that's okay.
Hello, everyone. I'm the Reina Creole, bringing you that spice to sci-fi and pop culture analysis. And today we actually have a special edition of the lunch table. I guess I should call it probably the after school special for some guests who can't quite make it around that noon regular time that we have. So we just kind of kick back after school and get together and shoot the crap and talk about stuff we're going to do and all that. So before we bring in our guest, let's bring in my co-host, Fat Steven. How you doing?
I'm finally awake. I had a fire alarm last night, went on for about an hour or so, but I'm doing good. I'm feeling happy, and I'm glad to be here. How are you, Lorena?
I'm doing good now that after waking up from passing out for 12 hours on Benadryl to make me immune to the ragweed out here, at least for 24 hours.
I am so happy I don't have allergies that for me like that.
Allergies, intense allergies suck. I was told by an allergist out in LA that I'm probably allergic to everything but air. I'm like, oh, great, thank you. But I get good drugs, though, so that's good.
Yay, drugs?
Yay, legal drugs.
Yeah, legal drugs.
By
Let's
a
just put that copyright right there. Care of, I hope he can sign this prescription.
Exactly. It's like, hey, there's nothing wrong. Doctor said I can have it. All right.
Just don't go on a Benadryl binge. Is that what it is? A Benadryl binge?
Oh God, if I do that, I'd be asleep for weeks.
Forced narcolepsy. My doctor made me do it.
Oh, well, let's bring in our lunch table / after school guest.
Is it Oprah?
I wish that heifer can give me a car if I bring it in here.
I wouldn't know what to do.
No, but you know what? He's in the fandom. He's well known in the fandom menace, and a lot of folks enjoy his content. I first saw him when he actually showed up on Drunk 3PO's channel. So let's bring in Ords Bored. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm great. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. Glad to have you on. The after school session.
For sure.
Does he have ID?
No ID. No
ID. So do we know it's the real Ords then?
No, yes, this is the real Ords here. Yes. Hi, everybody.
The real Ords.
I remember. Well, I was just saying, when I was in school, the best part about school was coming home to watch the TV shows, the cartoons, the Power Rangers, things like that. Mm-hmm. I always loved coming home from school, the after school special. So,
were you a Sailor Moon guy?
No. I mean, probably more so now than I was back then, but hey.
I'm the only guy in the world who raced home to watch Sailor Moon. I'm going to cancel myself. I'm going to delete this part later.
Yeah, we'll clip it. No problem.
Hashtag bite me.
So, dude, what memories do you have of lunch at school?
Lunch at school? Oh, I skipped a lot. I skipped a lot of lunch. I don't know, man. Like, that was my favorite period of the day because you got to converse with all your friends. Like, you go. Like, there's a lot of people who liked me, a lot of people who hated me, but everybody knew who I was. So, I made sure of that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I'm not cool or wasn't cool by any means, but lunch was fun, just bouncing back and forth. I remember the lunch food. You remember they used to serve these square pizzas? I don't know if you guys remember this, but when I was square looking pizza. Yeah.
Are you guys talking? Sorry to cut you off. You guys mean like when you had pizza and hamburger day, where you would send the slip home, your parents would fill out what you want, or are you talking like cafeteria? Because I remember I'm Canadian, right? So we didn't have a cafeteria really till high school, depending on the area. So when we did days like that, we actually had pizza days. So we'd get like a form our parents would fill it out, or send us with money the next day, and then we would get that certain amount of burgers or slices of pizza. So yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, they would serve the cafeteria. They would bake it in this like giant sheet, and then they would cut it into these rectangle shapes, and it was good. I probably wouldn't eat it nowadays.
No,
back then. But yeah, that's probably my biggest memory was that pizza, man. I don't know why, but
you remind me of a hacky sack kid that would skip class and hang out near the school playing hacky sack and going, every day's recess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yes, probably. I'm sure there was a few times we played hacky sack. I mean, we had this music store across the street from the high school, and behind the music store, it was great. Like you can go over there, like I played in bands and stuff too in high school, and so it was nice that we had that store there. You go pick what you need to. But anyway, there was like this back part that went down into the basement where there was this door. Well, there was this like stairwell that was kind of covered by all these trees. Well, we'd go skip class, go back there and smoke cigarettes and stuff.
Cigarettes and air quotes.
What's that?
Air quotes on the cigarettes.
Oh, cigarettes.
Yeah.
But no, but seriously, it was cigarettes back then. Yeah, they were just
Yeah. Were you guys playing like volleyball too? Because that was kind of like a twofer. There was hacky sack and volleyball.
I don't know what's volleyball. Yeah, volleyball.
Oh, I'm sorry. You just basically get this ball and you're slamming it up against the brick wall, and you have to catch it, and some people try to bounce it so that it smacks people square in the face when it comes back.
That sounds like fun.
No, we played dodgeball, but I don't remember that. Like we had something called a horse, or AKA a-hole, because what happened is if you would be turned right, you bounce it off the ground, so it hit the wall and slide back. And at first you tried to catch it, dropped it, they got a letter. So if you filled up the whole world, you had to stand against the wall, and then they would whip the tennis ball at your ass.
Whoa.
Well,
Canadian elementary schools. There you go.
I hadn't seen that one.
I remember never to send my child to a Canadian elementary school. Noted. Thank you.
Hashtag education.
Well, folks, you know what? We're gonna actually interview Ords a little bit. So before we do that, let me actually bring up your channel so folks can see it here. Yeah. So
look away from the nightmare.
Look at. Now, I love this because, like I was saying earlier, the first time that I saw you was when you popped onto Drunk 3PO's channel.
Yep.
Because I think he was featuring like new creators at that particular time. Yep. And you happened to pop on. And I'm like, this guy is a lot of freaking fun. He's a lot of fun. So why don't you tell us, how did you get into this YouTube thing?
Well, okay. Well, as you guys can see, it looks like somebody dumped Skittles on my channel because I love colors. Okay. So let's see. My channel was pretty much born out of a frustration of like trying to get involved with like a podcast, doing a podcast. And you know, like the person I was doing the podcast with, we were having a hard time meeting up, getting things done. It was like early. I felt like you really had to edit like podcasts, and it would take me a long time to do it. So it just like it didn't really get off the ground. And out of frustration from that, and the frustration of waiting to I've been wanting to do a channel for like years since I was younger. I wanted to do a science channel when I was younger. And it finally I just got to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm not getting any younger. Excuse me. But honestly, a lot of inspiration from, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. And, I don't always agree with the guy, but the message he gives is like, you got something to say it. Create a channel, say that. Somebody out there will listen. And really just kind of learning to be myself. And I feel like YouTube has allowed me to really kind of open myself more to being who I am and understanding who I am and what I'm capable of. I'm the kind of person who can't stand authority most times. So, I want to do my own thing. I'm very much like, I have dreams, I have goals. And I understand that like YouTube, it'll never be a successful, huge career for me, and I'm okay with that. But really, part of creating it was also getting my foot in the door to other things, whether it be like voiceovers for things or acting or whatever the case may be. I just want to be a part of it. So yeah, out of the frustration from not being able to work with others to get the thing going. And I was actually working on another channel at the time, doing puppetry work, which I've since left that project to focus more on this. And another project that I'm working on, which we can talk about a little bit later, but trying to get this project going and the ball rolling on that. And yeah, you know, I just I started my channel with the first video was about a few years ago, and maybe you guys know about the whole Blizzard thing when Blizzard did BlizzCon, and their big announcement was a mobile game for Diablo.
What, you don't own phones?
Yeah, exactly. And that was my first video. The frustration of hearing, you know, somebody who's supposed to cater to customers ask their customer, "Oh, you guys don't own a phone? You guys don't play games on your phone?"
Wait. They actually said that.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Okay, so it didn't say, you know what, for those of you who are into phones, we have this release for you.
No, actually, Reina, what happened was they were going to do the premiere because most people that were gone to that BlizzCon were expecting an announcement for a new Diablo. And when they announced the new Diablo, it was for, but it wasn't. It was for Diablo Mobile. And when the crowd started getting a little uppity, he's like, "What? You guys don't all own phones?" And at that point, they knew they messed up. And to this date, that game still hasn't released.
Oh, hell no. Okay, granted, it's been a long time since I've gamed, but I know of the title Diablo and knew people who were like into that. So I can't even imagine how pissed off I would be if I'm like, "Hey, I'm going to get a new game release and I'm waiting for it." And not only find out that it's not for the platform that I expect, but I'm basically being berated that I am not using that platform.
Here's the thing with it is like Diablo has been primarily a PC game. Okay. Now I'm sure you guys know, you know, at Fat Stevens Ago, you know, PC people, there's a reason why they call them PC Master Race. It's because PC people are solid. That's what they play on. Now, Diablo community is a huge chunk of that. So when part of it was they released, that was their big announcement. Okay. The big announcement was a mobile game, which I don't understand how a mobile game is a big announcement. So people were expecting one game, got something totally different, and then not even be able to play it on PC as a game, which there are a lot of mobile games that you can then play on PC as well, that cross-platforming. But you don't even have that. So then people would they stood up and asked questions like, "Is this an April Fool's joke?" The crowd pretty much turned on them. It had to have been the worst BlizzCon of all time. And out of that frustration, the channel was born. And if you guys go back and look at that video, it is just like I would say I'm a different person. Through it, I've discovered.
Fat Steven found it.
Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, go ahead and play that.
We're gonna play this. Okay, here we go. And
I was curious. I see a lot of mechanics that we've kind of been begging for.
This guy's a big YouTuber.
Is there any plans to make this playable on PC, or is this strictly mobile forever?
Are there any? The current plan is to be on mobile, both Android and iOS. We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC.
Watch. Booze.
Yeah.
Oh hell no!
And even if you wanted to play it on PC, you'd have to run it through BlueStacks or something like an Android emulator.
I was to say, if you go back about the middle of that video, and then he says the line. Right here. Yeah, go ahead and hit play there. Yeah, now listen to what he says.
Plans at the moment to do PC. Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones.
Right there. Can you believe that? Can you believe that?
That is the biggest.
Look how uncomfortable this guy looks now.
Unforced error. You don't freaking say that. You could have at least said, "You know what? We're working on something special for the PC. So you guys hang on.
No.
We're working on it for you." You couldn't even say that. and save your ass.
This is pretty much, I think, the stepping stone where Blizzard started going down their spiral of, I'm going to keep messing up every BlizzCon and new event. Because I think after this was the statue that they did exclusive, but it was only available in China. And I'm like, how can you do this?
Yeah,
So
well,
for
it just
people
goes
who
to
don't
show you
know-
how.
Oh, go ahead, Orr.
I was just gonna say it shows how Blizzard is catering to the China audience. Yeah, it's what they're doing. Along with there's the Blitzchung thing, where after he, Blitzchung won all this prize money, he says liberate Hong Kong, and they took away his prize money. They banned him from playing.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it was a
Blizzard-
12-month suspension, and then they reduced it to 6, but they didn't get back his prize money, did they?
I think they did. I think they did give him back his prize money and only banned him for 6 months.
But the funny thing is, before they did, sorry, I memorized this. But what also happened, right, is the fact is they had American and other teams who were doing online tournaments, and they would say the same thing, and they never got a ban. We actually there was actually one team who wrote something because on the web for the webcam, and they disqualified themselves because Blizzard wouldn't do anything. They're like the Disney of the video games right now.
Because I was going to ask, what other titles does Blizzard do? For people who don't know, like I don't know about BlizzCon. I didn't know about Blizzard until that thing with the prize money. The guy lost his prize money.
Hearthstone, StarCraft, Warcraft, World of Warcraft, Diablo.
And now that Activision owns them, you can essentially say that Call of Duty Activision stuff. I think a few other games too. Yeah, it's ever since Activision stepped into Blizzard has just been nothing but trash to me. Now I am excited about Diablo 4. I'm a fanboy. Okay, this is why I started my channel, guys. Let's keep that in mind.
Okay, here, let me take this dude off real quick. I'll let you go. Go ahead.
But yeah, that's pretty much where the channel started, and I had done that for I want to say my first 2018 was my first video. So I was doing it for a year by myself before I even really started diving into the community. I mean, I would watch from a distance in this community. I would watch, and I wouldn't, nobody knows me. I'm not. Why would I say in the chat? You see in the chat, everybody saying hi to each other, all this stuff. You see that. So, but yeah, that's how the channel got created.
It's interesting how and I'll let you talk, Betsy, in a minute. It's interesting how those trigger events get you started with doing channels like this. Because I know for me, I mean, I was dropping in the chats because crap happened with The Last Jedi, and I'm talking to people, and I'm seeing how people are doing these channels to basically express a lot of their dissatisfaction, not only with The Last Jedi, but their dissatisfaction with the politicization of pop culture. And I'm just like, yeah, lots of people doing that. I'm just an additional voice, who's going to pay any attention. We were like, no, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. And so I finally did it. And it's like, it's like an outlet for creativity, and you put yourself out there, and the people who are interested in it will latch on. The people who don't, they'll just click to another video. But it's interesting how events like that light the fire under you to start channel.
And really it all really started when I helped a old friend of mine put together a recording studio. We were going to do band recordings, TV commercials, and I was working on the voiceover. I wanted to do the voiceover stuff, and then we had a falling out, and then it's just one thing after another led up to the fact that I wanted to do this so bad. And I love creating, and honestly, it's not so much the subject matter that I'm covering. Yeah, that's all great. That's all good. But I love the editing. I love the building things, taking something and taking nothing or something that looks like nothing and turning into something cool, fun, and interesting. Yeah.
Cool. Steven, you were saying?
Oh, no, I had a question kind of a little further back before the Blizzard thing. You said you were sort of into puppetry. Are you trying to tell us that there's a Ords Bored Muppet somewhere?
No, although I don't know if you guys remember, and we haven't seen from him for a while in the community, but Ben, was it Grumpy Luke? I don't know what happened to the guy. I think he's still doing his thing, but him and I were supposed to get together and work something out, and I don't know, he kind of took off and did his thing, which is fine, which is cool. But I would love an Ords Muppet. But no, I did do puppetry for a little bit. Yeah.
I'd like to see you team up with Snowdub, because that would be kind of interesting, because Snowdub does the puppet stuff, right?
Yeah, he does. Don't tell anybody, but I've thought about doing something, like maybe creating a channel and then nobody knowing it's me. So if don't assume.
No, I'm not assuming, but have you thought about doing an Ords and Amber puppet and just one day doing a surprise stream where it's just your puppets doing the show?
No, I have not thought about that, but that is an interesting thought. I've actually thought about diving into like building my own puppets as well.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a couple really good puppet guys, Adam something or another on YouTube that does a great job. And I'm gonna try to reach out, and I don't know if this is actually going to happen, but I'm going to try to reach out to Steve Whitmire, the second rendition of Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog here. What have they done to me?
And such a wonderful segue that is to talk about this here.
I hear it's a trash fire lately. Like it gets interesting at the start and then dies out.
Before we do, Ords, why don't you tell us about how you got into the Muppets? Let's start with that.
So, the Muppets are interesting to me. When I was a young kid, I would go to my grandmother's house, and she had this cassette tape of, it was like a Muppet story time. And I remember the Muppet Babies, but which is very much a different texture than the actual Muppets. It's very different, but still good. She had this videotape where it was Kermit and Robin, and it started with Robin. Kermit came in, introduced the story, and it was kind of like these still images that would move around and tell a story. When I was a kid, I loved watching the stories. I loved watching that, but the beginning of it really freaked me out because there's these things, right? These creatures. As a young child, you don't understand how they work. All you see them is they are tangible objects moving, tangible creatures moving around, talking to one another. Puppets scared me when I was a child. All right, like, to be honest, they scared me. But once I understood, once I realized, once I gained the knowledge of how they worked, it just intrigued me. Like I was like, wow, like that's what I was scared of. Like, why was I scared of that? This is amazing. This is cool to really bring something to life. It was yes, nice.
I'm looking at Serena's chat.
Yeah, that's awesome. But no, I just realized that, like, wow, this is amazing and how they do this. And then what really solidified my love for the Muppets was the version of A Christmas Carol, the Muppet Christmas Carol, which I believe was Steve Whitmire's first appearance in a film as Kermit the Frog.
I have a question though. Did either of you ever go down and see the live Muppet show that they did at Disney? You know how that you would go through the actual opera house and all that stuff when they had the show?
I didn't know they do that.
Oh, it was so good.
No.
See,
I've never had a chance to do that. The closest that I've gotten is to see some of the puppets that were at Sesame Place, which is like the Muppet theme. Well, we'll say Muppet theme park, mostly Sesame Street themed. But I know for me, was watching like Sesame Street and how they would, I call it, for lack of a better term, tricking us into learning stuff.
Yeah.
But instead, I'm like, how did I know? Okay, how did I know that? How did I know that? Okay, cool. And just like seeing like all the interaction, like the relationships between the Muppets. And even like Oscar, I loved him because it's just like, F it, you people are happy all day. I'm not happy. And I'm cool with that. Yeah. And people were just like, yeah, that's Oscar. That's, that's how he is. He keeps it real.
Relatable.
Exactly. Totally relatable. We
have tons of characters within the Muppets that are relatable. Fozzie, the one guy who thinks he's funny who's really not. Like everybody's got that friend who thinks he's got jokes, but he really doesn't. You
don't really have jokes.
Right.
And like Statler and Waldorf, like the really, really grumpy you know,
Right.
nice people, you know, that they're just like old farts and they don't like anything except for, you know, what they like. And the Swedish chef, you know, you can't tell what the heck he's saying, but somehow we figure out what he's saying.
Yeah, yeah. And it just goes into what Jim Henson created so beautifully within the Muppets was, you know, these beautiful textures, the different colors of the characters, the you know, conveying so much emotion. Like if you look at the original Muppet Show, every dance number, like even that from the first dance number from the very first episode of the original Muppet Show to the last episode, I mean, you get it, captivating, just something so, a production so big that nowadays really is even changed by CGI still, which the practicality of puppetry or even like practical effects and CGI blend is good. I'm just saying, like, without having that CGI, Jim Henson created not only this Muppet universe, but multiple other universes from his bare hands and his mind. And that's really why I'm more a Jim Henson fan than I am anything else. But the Muppets were just always captivating to me.
I can. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go, Steven.
I can agree with you with there, because when I first got into the Muppet Show, it was like every Sunday night it would be like an episode that's my parents made us watch after dinner, and it was the perfect blend of like bringing Sesame Street in, but with a more adult feel, and it absorbed pop culture, it absorbed music. Like you had everything from, let's say, Liz Taylor to Mark Hamill to even Alice in Chains. And it branched everywhere, and it wasn't enough that it was ever offensive, but it was just on that cusp where the humor reached not only from the child, but to the adult. And it had a family grouping to it. And now it's like one-liners, and I would rather watch the hand up the puppet's butt try to perform than seeing the trash fire of the puppet trying to save the show because they don't want to take a chance.
Exactly, because one of the things that I loved about the Muppet Show, and it's so funny, it's like I'll go back and pull out my old DVDs and watch the older seasons, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe they got away with seeing that, because there's this one scene with Statler and Waldorf, and I think Statler says, that makes me feel like a young girl again, and the other guy says, makes me feel like a young boy. I think I'll go look for one right now. I'm like, no, the one said it looks like a young girl. He says, makes me boy. He says, young girl. Yeah, I think I'll go find me one right now. And I'm like, oh, God, I can't believe it. Like, saying that kind of stuff. And some of the jokes, it's like you wouldn't get like right away. And there's some comedians that are still around, like Ruth Buzzy on Twitter, because I'd actually said, oh my God, I remember seeing you on the Muppet Show, and she followed me for that particular tweet. But like all of these stars who were on the Muppet Show, they just blended so nicely. It's like they blended into the world of the Muppets instead of with this show. It's like they're trying too hard to put the Muppets into the human world. And that's why I dropped off around episode 4 of this particular show. Because it's like when you start writing this stuff in your head, like, no, that wouldn't work. No, that wouldn't work. No, that wouldn't work. That either.
Was so beautifully put. The way you put that was just like I couldn't even have put it any better. Like it took you saying that for me to be like, you're right. Like they're forcing Muppets into a modern situation. Here's what you do, right? You let the Muppets be Muppets and then fill in the rest. And with this show, at least Muppets Now, it was lifeless for the most part, because when you have something as beautiful as the original Muppet Show, the chaos. I mean, I remember when they would have some of the dance guests on were just as good as the musician. One of my favorite episodes, and this is why I'm such a, I guess I would say this is how I'm such a huge fan of this artist, Paul Simon. Okay. Simon Garfunkel, Paul Simon. They had Paul Simon on an episode, and I ended up getting, it was a DVD. It was like 3 episodes, and it was like the Mark Hamill one and Paul Simon, and I can't remember the other guy. But I would watch that DVD over and over and over again. And I fell in love with Paul Simon, and I love him now because of him being on the Muppet Show. But the texture of people that came in you're right, they adapted to the Muppets, whereas this show forces the Muppets into some kind of modern situation and it feels dirty.
It's like I get, coming up with the times, and so I had kind of like the concept that okay, they have to live stream the show because in the original they had a time where boom, we're live, you have to keep going. So it's like, okay, that analogy I can deal with. But relying on the technology instead of relying on the jokes, and I love Miss Piggy. I love Miss Piggy to death. The thing between Miss Piggy and Uncle Deadly was really cool. That I liked. But when they come up with these Zoom calls or whatever, I'm just like, no, you don't need that person. You need that Muppet. You need that Muppet. We don't need that freaking human. And there's so much rich history between the different Muppet characters. It's like, why are you bringing people in that we do not give a crap about?
Yeah. Muppets we've never heard of. Real quick to your point with the Dudley thing, I see where you're going, like why you like that paradigm of their relationship, and I do as well. However, I do kind of feel like they've turned Dudley into some like pompous like butler, where I mean he was in the episode with Vincent Price in the original Muppet show, and he was a dastardly character, evil,
he was sinister. It was like he was his equal, except he was a Muppet. It's just like Vincent Price in Muppet form, and there was this edge to him. I totally get it with that.
So, but I also agree with you on that paradigm of Piggy and him, because that the accent, it plays well to that character type. But I can see why you enjoy that. But I want Dudley to be that scared or evil,
I get that too, because in the 5th episode of Muppets now, because I tagged out really reviewing after 4, and this is kind of what sealed it for me. There was a section where I guess they called it Masterpiece Theater, but I think they called it Masterpiece Theater, and they had Uncle Deadly showing sword fighting on stage. And I'm kind of like, but this is Uncle Deadly though. And while it came off as nice and pompous and, over the top, it was still like, he's supposed to be a different type of character. I'm like, I think for that, it seemed to me like they used him too much as comic relief in that. Yep. And I think that's when I kind of said, okay, no.
I think what it would have been great is they still could have had that paradigm, but maybe Dudley like sets these little like traps, or you know what I mean, or like plays these tricks on her,
like
you know what I mean?
Danger Room.
Yeah, kind of, yeah, like in a sense, like and I think maybe he did it once or twice, but like maybe as she's like carrying something heavy and she walks by, he sticks his foot out, you know what I mean, something like that, like just make him a little evil, like he's
exactly, because that's like what stuff like some of these characters would do. Like I think I was talking about the game show, which was, I'm like, forget it. Gonzo should have hosted that if it was going to be a game show. And I'm like, they should have really had Crazy Harry blowing the stage up, because that's what he would do when you least expected it. Everybody knew it was him. And
like I want to be in the middle of a serious skit, and then like you said, Harry comes in and he just blows it to bits. Like that's what I miss about the Muppets. Now, the continuously running jokes, like the same joke. It literally was the same joke every single episode. The only thing in this show, Muppets Now, that had texture and I thought was halfway decent, at least with the skits, was the Bunsen and Beaker skits.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They could have pulled that out, and that should have been the whole show.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. Like the episode where they're like launching stuff against the wall, and then it just gets crazy, and like more. Like that's the Muppets to me. They figured that out. And let me ask you this, Lorena, maybe you can answer this for me. In this show here, where the hell are the actual Muppets? Where's Animal? Where is Dr. Teeth? We see Janice for a minute or two, maybe, right? Where's Ralph? Like, you have all these characters in this thing here, but none of them in the show.
None of them. You know what? I honestly think because they don't have a true appreciation for who the Muppets are. Like, they brought out, and I'm blanking on his name because he looks like one of the animals from Where the Wild Things Are. They
Sweetums?
brought him in. No, no, it's not sweet. I wish it was Sweetums. No, it wasn't Sweetums.
Yeah. He's like
the other guy. Yeah, I remember who he is. I think that they just don't have an appreciation for the original Muppet Show, because you had everyone from, I call it the A-list, to like the D-listers that would show up. Like let's see, there was like the Rabbit, Miss Piggy's nemesis. Who the heck was that chick? She didn't like her.
Yeah.
But the heavy smoker pig?
Which one?
You mean like the one that was like a heavy smoker pig with the deep voice? No,
not the Muppets. It was. Oh gosh, I forget her name. I like the Muppets.
Come on, Fozzie, we got to be on the stage in 10 minutes.
What pretty much what you sounds like you're saying is it went from Manana to Manana Na.
Yeah,
because it went dead. Because I'm looking at this, and even the poster doesn't make me want to watch it because they just use the same three people.
The connection isn't. The connection is
dead,
missing. It's like they brought out, Gus and Yolanda. They brought them out, which was okay. But what they don't understand is the interaction from the A-list Muppets to the D-list Muppets. And honestly, Ords, I don't think they've watched, the people who run the show have watched the show like you and I and Fat Steven and others, because we watch it and we know how it's supposed to, how it's supposed to go. And I don't think that they appreciate that every character has something to bring. And if you bring in that D-list Muppet, it has something specific to bring to the skit, that's on stage. Like even, they brought Robin in, but even they would bring him in, and his job was to basically be a pain in the ass to Kermit. Because he's just starstruck,
Well, I don't know, Uncle Kermit.
Yeah,
like,
it's like he likes to be starstruck, and like I said, the other pig chick, and I can't remember her name, but Miss Piggy did not like her because Miss Piggy thought that she was after her man.
Yeah. And that whole thing with like the Kermit and Piggy relationship thing has got kind of weird.
I'm still mad they broke them up. I'm pissed. I've been pissed for years.
And I think, and here's the thing. A lot of people criticize Steve Whitmire for like, I don't necessarily think Steve Whitmire might be the best guy in the world, but I think that he knew what the Muppets were because he had been involved with Jim. And I've had people try to tell me, he didn't learn Kermit from there you go, Crazy Harry. He didn't learn Kermit from Jim. But he did learn puppetry from Jim. He was there during all the building of that, the Dark Crystal, and he was there. So I'd like to think that Steve Whitmire knows a little bit more about what the Muppets are, and I think that's why they got rid of him, is because they got tired of him trying to interject his ideas into what the Muppets were. But oh God, here's a good example: Pepe the King Prawn. I liked Pepe as a character. I think they could have done well with that game show bit. Had they kind of tooled it a little bit different. A good way to use that character, and a lot of people I think give this movie heat, but Muppets from Space. I actually enjoyed. I
like that movie. I love that movie.
It got a little crazy there at the end with all the Gonzo's family and all that, but it was still great. Like here's Pepe. I'll give you an example. In that movie, he has a little door. I think it was a can or something like that. And then he like ditches everybody through the door, and everybody's like, "Oh, this stupid shrimp left us." But then it turns out he actually was saving them in the process. Like, just the way they use them. I don't know if you've seen it. It was like the Muppets, a Very Merry Muppets Christmas special or something like that. Where they utilize Pepe as another great way to utilize him as a character in that movie. But I feel like in this, they had this great character, and all these characters are great. They just, the way they applied it was terrible. It was, again, I think of the lifestyle joke, like every Piggy's little thing where she's like, "I told him I had the graphic at the end of it," and it's literally that same joke. Every episode.
That I kind of got from the I think here's the thing. I don't think IT people should write a whole bunch of this stuff because while that joke may be funny to IT people like me, for people who are non-IT, it's like it was only funny twice. It's not funny anymore.
Right,
So I totally get that. But another situation that I didn't like, and this segment pissed me off the most, the okie dokie cooking segment. I do not understand why. Yes. Okay.
This is the most trash part of the show.
It is. This is the one where if you go back and you read my review, you watch my reviews and you watch Ords' reviews, we ding this skit every single time. Because you remember how when the Swedish chef was on the Muppet Show, we didn't understand what the heck he was saying, but we knew what he was doing and we understood him because the fun part was trying to figure out what the heck he was saying and he'd get pissed off at the end and do stuff. We thought that was cool. This show, they bring in some human chef who, if they would have brought in Gordon Ramsay, this would have worked, but they couldn't freaking get Gordon Ramsay or Guy Fieri or somebody like that.
Sometimes it's not even an actual chef.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what pissed me off. Not an actual chef. Then they have this middle Muppet that nobody cares about, this turkey Muppet that pretty much talks down to the Swedish chef the whole entire time. We don't need a translator. The funny banter should be between the human person, who should be a well-known chef, trying to figure out what the heck the Swedish chef is doing, and the Swedish chef at every turn trying to subvert this dude. Now that would have been funny, and that's what the Muppets are about. We don't need some middle person trying to translate all the time. Yeah.
What did they do to it? Is that where they have like up to 2 real humans and they have like am I looking at this right now?
It's so the skits would have been funnier if they would have just took Beverly, whatever the hell her name is.
Beverly Plume.
That's
Julia Child already did a section on the Muppet Show. We did it once. We don't need it again.
and then like Chef does something and she's like, "Oh, you're so funny, Chef." And it's like, what?
Oh God!
It's disgusting, dude. It's like,
yeah, I'm looking at it. It looks like the Karen version.
I would bring it up, but Disney has been very, very good about not copyright claiming me, so I'm not going to bring it up.
You guys are also forgetting a simple thing with also the Swedish chef. It wasn't just the Swedish chef trying to figure out what he's saying, but he would also be in battle with the ingredients. Like you would have meatballs trying to escape. You would have tomatoes popping up all over the kitchen singing.
Right.
You would have chickens trying to not go in the pot, and Gonzo would be watching from the distance going, "What are you doing to my chickens?" And that's the whole thing, because it was a battle, and there's no longer a battle. It's pretty much going, you don't understand what the stupid Swede is saying. That's not funny.
And sometimes the chickens would hit the chef in the head with the pan, and he'd be the one in the pan. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, where is that? Another thing. Sorry, I'm going to get excited because Fast News Goes got me raging here.
Go ahead.
Where the hell is where's my music in this show?
Thank you.
Wait, there's no music in this show?
There's not a single.
Okay. You guys don't need to yell at me here. I'm holding the dynamite. I will push it down. I'm not Disney here. I understand your frustration but I don't have Disney Plus for this one reason. There's not enough scars left to be destroyed. No, it's perfectly fine. But you're seeing this, like you're making the connection now. It's Disney is destroying everything on all platforms of pop culture, whether it be from Star Wars to Muppets. Look, this is horrifying.
It's the sheer hubris.
And don't do Star Trek on us. No, come on.
Okay. I love that word, sheer hubris. But it's true. When on Disney Plus, most of what I watch on Disney Plus isn't Disney. It's actually Pixar related when I watch it, or nostalgic stuff like that, or Fox related, or some kind of like the Imagineering story. I actually like that. That was worth watching, except for the Galaxy's Edge section. Screw that part. But yeah, the Muppet Show used to have music every episode, or close to every episode, and not cheesy stuff.
Every episode.
You go back in the day, you got Bob Hope doing numbers.
Johnny Cash.
Look, they got people, just actors. They got actors to
Stevie
sing.
Wonder? Remember that?
They got actors to sing. People who weren't considered musicians or singers, they would have them in skits where they sang.
Yeah.
regularly.
They had, let's go down the thing. They had ZZ Top, Stevie Wonder, Dolly Parton, Ozzy Osbourne, Steve Martin, Loretta Lynn, Willie
That was
Nelson,
awesome. Stephen
Alice
King, baby.
Cooper,
Yep.
David Bowie, for God's sakes,
Prince.
Elton
Paul
John.
Simon.
Yep.
Just saying.
And you're telling me there's no music at all. So they've taken out half of the life of the show because you're watching puppets rendition music numbers and things go wrong during that. Like all of a sudden you'll have the pie guy coming in. Or did someone say pie in the sky? And he starts throwing pies around. But this is horrible. I can understand the rage now. This is bad.
You had said it perfectly earlier with the whole they were able to bridge that gap between young audiences and adult audiences where there's this nice beautiful family intersection. And when I was doing my puppet show, that's what our goal was, is to bring the adult humor in to the educational side of it. So not only do the parents and the adult audience get some kind of entertainment out of it, kids are learning something and they get entertainment out of it. And when it comes to puppets, that is a must. That is the quintessential stepping stone to building a show of puppets. And this show just it doesn't do it in any way whatsoever. What is this?
No, it doesn't.
I have a question though. Have any Fraggle Rock characters shown up on the show yet?
No, but
so if they do that, do you think it's good? That means they're running out of ideas.
No, check it out. I believe it's Quibi. I think it's Quibi. They actually have another Fraggle Rock show that has come out recently.
Oh no!
No. It surprisingly is actually kind of good.
So it has the dog and everything.
I'm not sure. No, Uncle. I don't know if you've seen the dog yet. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the two episodes. Yes, Sprocket. The two episodes that I've seen, I mean, there are things that I'm like, okay, but it was never to the point where I was like, this is trash. They stuck with it. They had the original. They had songs. They had dance. They had the tone was good. It felt like Fraggle Rock. It felt like we were going back to hang out with the Fraggles again. So
yeah.
Hey, Mom, look, a Fraggle.
I never got a chance to watch Fraggle Rock.
You're missing out. If you
I've
want,
seen one or two episodes. I didn't get a chance to check it out, but all my friends who watched it would rave about how awesome it was.
The trash heap.
I just didn't get a chance to watch it.
See,
but it's
so wait, you've never seen the Christmas special where Kermit and the whole Muppets crew meet the Fraggles?
Oh my God!
I think I saw that. It's been years, but I think I saw that.
I gotta either borrow you the Blu-rays or buy them for you or something.
Because that was one of those where I don't know what the heck happened. I wanted to watch it, didn't get a chance to watch it, but friends of mine would watch it, and I kept hearing about how awesome it was. But speaking of awesome, I do. So I'm gonna have to check that out, Ords, because I just meant to, didn't get a chance to, but I flip and love it. But speaking, because Steven actually, I don't know why I blanked out at this. Muppet Vision 3D, yes, I've been to the one in Orlando. And the essence of that attraction is everything that the Muppets are. I got a survey about this particular attraction in Orlando because I had some beef to pull with it, because the film, not the creative that's shown, the physical media has degraded so badly over the years. The colors are not as vivid. It's, kind of askew and everything. You can tell something is off. So I told them, I said, they need to update that film. They need to either go to digital or they need to fix it, because it's a shame that it's degrading, because this whole attraction is Muppets from beginning to freaking
I want to go.
End. You haven't been?
No. It's literally 3D, except for the guys in the balcony that are actually, I believe, animatronic puppets, and they do like to do with the show. They'll put out insults, and I think they have a reel of multiple different jokes. But it was one of my best childhood experiences.
It is awesome.
And that's after driving from Canada to Georgia.
Sweetums comes out of here. So there's a live actress, Sweetums. But even before that, the flippin' pre-show. Okay, so the pre-show that you walk into, there are all these sight gags around that, even around, up, all over the place. And then they have the monitors up, and then there's a pre-show that comes on the monitors with
wow.
the Muppets. It is so freaking funny. It's fun after I forget how long that this attraction has been there. It's still freaking funny.
Is it
And
still
it is
there?
always yes.
It's literally the Muppet Opera House, and when you're going inside, you're literally walking through the lobby and stuff. So they did it to scale to the best point. I can't remember if they've changed it recently, but I think they had props, Muppets talking, they had staff on hand, pamphlets, and then they give you the 3D glasses. You would go into the theater.
Where is this located?
This one is well, the one that I went to in Orlando at Disney World is in Hollywood Studios. So it is literally catty corner to where Galaxy's Edge is.
Oh no!
Oh
now,
dang! Because
I
was supposed to be there in April to go visit Drunk, and then the Coof and all that stuff happened. So now we're here, but I gotta go.
This thing, I'm telling you, Ords, it's like it's a large volume of people that gets pushed through. So if you have to wait, it's not very long. It is awesome. Although they used to have a gift shop that was full of Muppets gear. It's nowhere near what it used to be because it used to have so much Muppet swag in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't now. It's a freaking waste of time. Don't even bother going.
That sucks.
The actual attraction itself, like Fat Steven was saying, you feel like you are in the actual Muppet.
I'm into that.
And it's air conditioned, so you get out of the heat for a while. You can sit there. And you can I wanted to watch it and fall asleep at the same time because it was comfortable. Because those chairs, it's not like a rod up your butt. It's actually it's one of those things where if they ever say it's being torn down, you want to take one of the chairs with you.
Gotcha.
It's so nice. And here's the pit orchestra with the penguins.
I hope they don't. Well, no, they don't have the electric. Why would they have the Electric Mayhem down there?
Oh no, it's not the Electric Mayhem. These are the penguins. The Penguin Orchestra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So they have the Penguin Orchestra here, and then let's see, Beans over here, and then Statler and Waldorf that are over here. They have lines to say. It is just an awesome attraction, and why they couldn't get the Imagineers who worked on this to help with the Muppets Now show is flipping beyond me.
Yeah,
they're still apologizing for Last Jedi.
Probably.
Well, I think part of with the Muppets Now, they might. This is just a theory. Hey, you only have X amount of money to do something with it. Here you go, which would explain why they only did 6 episodes. Which would explain why a lot of it is green screen in the back. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I kind of look at it that could be true. But if they did that, it's like I would almost rather they would have done a special.
Yeah.
Than 6 episodes of this, and just that section, just the Muppet Lab section, how much money they poured into those.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't tell me you couldn't freaking do that.
Right.
Like the whole series, it's kind
Muppet Labs within itself could have been its own like they could have done 5-minute episodes and had it come on every week. You know what I mean? It could have been it could have been Muppet Labs Confidential, the unexplained experiments, and it could have Beaker getting tortured every week. They could have gone down that road because that was one of my favorites. Even for Muppet Babies when they did the crossover, kind of like Star Wars and Ghostbusters.
Yep.
And they were going through the little portal. I remember that crap because it related to something else I enjoyed. But from what you guys are saying, it sounds like they don't have any intuitive love for making something bigger than what it was.
I mean, they're one of the original pop culture commentaries, man. Think about it. Think about it here. Each episode of the Muppet Show had a storyline. Yes, there was one-off, they had the skits that would fill in the space, but whether it was Scooter trying to do something specifically and Kermit interacting, there was always some kind of end goal to the show. There was always some kind of storyline that went with it in between the skits.
Right.
Mark Hamill trying to get away from Miss Piggy because she kept trying to seduce him.
Exactly.
She kept saying that it was his. No, I want you to meet my cousin.
The Steve Martin episode where there was no show, so they held auditions, and then Steve Martin just auditioned several different times, doing different things, and there was a story there.
The banjo duels they did in the lily pad of Kermit's favorite song. That was great. The one thing that still bothers me to this day, because I saw it on Family Guy, I think yesterday in one of the episodes, is Stu when he was riding the bike with the giant legs, and I'm like, that is one thing that always bothered me. Is why is Kermit's legs so goddamn long on the bike, but everywhere else they're so short?
It's something else.
You got to have the articulation with the bike. You got to make it look real.
But to go back to the Muppet Lab section, because one of the things that I brought out in one of my reviews for Muppets Now was that why is it Pixar, they didn't get it at the time. They're able to do Forky Ask a Question, and that's literally 3 to 5 minutes in capsule form of excellent storytelling. That's what Muppets Labs is, and that's what they should have just pulled out and did instead. It's like I could definitely go for watching that as opposed to sitting through these episodes where you're kind of like, good Lord, is it over yet? And I've never felt like that with the Muppets. You were like upset when the episode was over because you wanted more, even though it was over.
Yes.
You know, you still wanted more, and you were like mad that you couldn't get more, but were excited about the next episode. With Muppets Now, it was just like, crap. I just want to be over. Right.
Yeah, no, I fell asleep through towards the end of the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And I don't even Muppet movies that I've seen over and over again. If that's on, I don't turn it off. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it sucks.
It sucks, but it's just like, man, I just go back and get my DVDs, and it's like I wish. It's like I gave it a shot, but we both
I've got season 1 of the Muppet Show in Kashik's van right now. The entire season 1 in the van because we got the DVD player and everything. I've gotten the kids into it; they love it, and yeah, man,
it is amazing how much of the I'll call it older stuff like Muppets, like 90s cartoons that the kids are just like, wow.
Well, 90s cartoons died when they passed legislation saying that Saturday morning cartoons pretty much is ruining a childhood, which was all false. But that's when everything, like for kids actually having weekends, normal routines went to crap. But on a side subject, since we're getting kind of depressed and you guys are forcing smiles, if you could be any Muppet character, what would you be?
Oh my God! Wow, that's a wow. I don't know. Lorena, what do you think?
No, passing the buck there, Ords. No. I ain't working like that. I can watch your face right now, bro. No.
All right. Okay. I think I have 2 different answers.
That's fine. There's no wrong answer.
Kermit being the first one because he's the guy with the personality. He's the cool guy. He's the cool head, and that's the kind of person I want to be. Which I'm not that guy. I'm very outwardly expressive, and Kermit's more reserved. At times he's not, but at times he knows when to play it. He knows when to turn on the showmanship. And then I think my other answer would be Gonzo because I feel like I can relate to that character a lot.
So what you're saying is you love chicken and you love pork.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm sorry.
And then honestly, Fozzie because I can kind of relate to that too. Kermit.
Oh, you do a good one.
Thank you.
Hurdy birdie.
Oh.
Waka waka.
Oh my God.
He's good.
Kermit the Frog here.
For me, you are sick, or you really have to do voiceovers because you're between you and Tom do the Bat Tom and Robin bit. I'm in freaking stitches.
You gotta get Robin to hit puberty though, because he sounds like a very scared kid that gets only let out of the closet when it's time to fight crime.
Oh no! But you gotta have his voice crack though.
Well, that's
Batman. I need bigger than a small. It hurts my butt.
Like Batman's so mean to me. I don't even. I can't.
Why is there all this clown porn on my hard drive?
Okay, just start clown.
Yeah, my hard drive has been disgraced by Batman himself. Oh Lord,
he left his bat symbol everywhere.
That's something I will. Yeah, my one video got pulled off for so-called community guideline violations, but the whole thing about clown porn, that one was allowed to stay up when I had that clip on it.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. The one where I had to appeal and they say, oh, well, no community guidelines were broken, but we really feel that it's best for a restricted audience. But yeah, but the stream where they had the clip about clown porn, they didn't touch that one.
No, that's funny. That's funny.
No.
I'm like,
maybe YouTube's afraid of clowns. Maybe you found a way to beat the algorithm.
maybe.
Talking about a sexual fetish, I guess, isn't that big of a deal. So
No.
whatever.
No.
I like how Lorena hasn't answered the other question yet, though.
Oh yeah, I was going to get to that. I was just letting y'all talk. Oh, it's always going to be Miss Piggy, and for two reasons. One, just how freaking take charge she was, and I'm a control freak, and
No
when
way.
stuff is not under Piggy's control, she freaking loses it, and it's the funniest thing. I mean, I would just love it because she would be like all prim and proper and try to be elegant, but when crap goes down, she's like, okay, all right, I'm gonna get in the mix with it. And
it reminds me of that scene from Muppets in Space where she like fights what's his name there at the beginning, and she like whoops him up real good. Yeah, that was good, man. That was good.
I just forget. I loved her character for years, and I would watch the Muppet Show actually with my grandfather, and he liked the Miss Piggy character too. So that's kind of like a nostalgic tie, you know,
Nice.
for me, because like
That's
I would watch
beautiful.
it with my grandfather, and he would see like all of these famous people that he knew, and it was just great. So yeah,
That's
I
beautiful.
love Miss Piggy. I love Miss Piggy. I can't. Janice is too much of a hippie. I can't do that. Mm-mm.
Like for sure.
Sure. Although I think she's supposed to be Carly Simon from Fleetwood Mac. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Did Carly backhand a lot of people?
Yeah, well, because I always thought Dr. Teeth reminded me of George Clinton.
Oh no.
From Parliament.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. Look at the outfits and the teeth.
Real quick, since we're talking about Dr. Teeth, I think one of the beautiful things about the Muppets too was the ability to kind of interject that fourth wall breaking, where like Dr. Teeth, like they show up at the church in the movie, the Muppet movie, and he's like reading the script, and he's like, then they pull up to a church, and then they happen upon the great melody makings of the Electric Mayhem, which MR they're us or whatever they say, and. Like just breaking that fourth wall was so beautiful. And they actually would, use that in that movie later on, where they're like, out in the desert by themselves and the song starts. And then the Electric Mayhem shows up with the bus. We read it in the script. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's why we're here. Cause we read it in the script and we came here to save you, little froggy dude. So that's just, to me, is just beautiful. Anyway.
Yeah, I love that when they would do moments, like that.
Yeah.
With the characters and not necessarily. And that's kind of like where it goes back to where they're used like a lower level, lesser known characters or lower level characters. They'll give them something that makes them integral to what's going on. So I love that particular magic with the Muppets. Man, this is great. This is great discussion. Absolutely. And Ords, I love the fact that we finally had a way to, to get you on, and definitely tell the people where they can find you. Whoops, wrong button. Because this dude needs seriously, he deserves so many more subs than he has right now.
I appreciate the kind words. I really do. Thank you so much for having me on, Lorraine. This has been a lot of fun. And hopefully in the near future, guys, I'll be able to do that more. The Queen and I here at the boardroom are trying to move things around and make things happen to where we can do more live streams during the day. But anyway, you guys can find me over youtube.com/Ords Bored. I'm doing pop culture commentary and news throughout the week, gaming streams on the weekend, and maybe some gaming streams during the week coming up. Focused heavy on nostalgia and childhood experiences. My childhood experience when I was a kid, all the great cartoons and pop culture stuff that we love growing up. So make sure you guys come over and find me out on my channel. It's a place to come relax and hang and leave all the worries of the world and drama behind. So come escape with me, guys.
Awesome. Awesome. So cool. And again, so glad to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Boards, you can see him on other people's shows too, especially the gaming stream Culture Casinos on your game
Oh
stream
yeah.
that you
Yep.
have on Sundays. Yeah, so we tell people during the Welcome to Florida stream, it's like we send them over to Keepers of the Forest, and then we remind them to come over to Ords
Nice.
gaming
Thank
stream
you.
as well. So we kind of have that triple push we kind of got, you know.
I like rounding the week off. You know, like people have such great streams. Like the weekend kicks off with Friday Night Tights, right? And then Saturday and Sunday, all the smaller channels have these really great shows to be a part of. And then I like rounding it out on Sundays, man. It's a nice way to kind of end the week, the stress, like I said, you come to the channel, we hang out, we relax. It's an open discussion about whatever, man. People talk smack all they want. It's fun, man. It's fun. So I like having that spot. So. Thank you for all the support.
Oh, no problem. Anything I can do to support, let me know.
I'll invoice you later with the bill for the support. You'll go through PayPal. It'll be on a sheet of bacon.
I'll give you 2 chicky nugs.
Okay, no. We're done with the chicken payments. Literally, everyone thinks I'm fat as hell, man. Come on.
He wants Frosties. I told him I'd send him some water ice from Rita's.
It's going to be melted.
Wendy's gift cards.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
And a bucket of Crisco so I can get out of my apartment.
Well, I mean, you're going to need it to get out of your pants, too, because the waistline is under siege.
You just heard it first. Ords has just proposed something about Crisco and my pants coming off. I'm done. I'm out of here.
With that said, folks, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate the support. Please do share this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, subscribe to Ords' channel if you haven't. Steven, I forget, do you have a channel?
I have a channel, but it only has like 5 or 6 clips. You can pretty much find me on Twitter or at the local Weight Watchers. That's just stealing points. That's about it.
I knew that's where I saw you.
Yeah, I'm the guy eating chicken wings while people are exercising on the other side.
Oh my goodness.
That chicken looked good.
It was good.
Well, folks, you know what? If you'd like to support the channel, these are the different ways that you can support it. You can hit that tip jar. You can also visit my Teespring store. And also, if you'd like to send me something that is legal, please do so at my lovely box address right here. I'd love to get it. The latest thing I got was something from Latino Slant, which was really awesome.
Anything illegal, send it to me. Just saying.
No. I would like to also make an added point. Don't send chicken nuggets to Reina for Steven. No. Because I know someone's thinking about it. Don't do it.
And even if you do, somebody will probably eat them anyway before it gets to me. So I'm just saying.
I was gonna send 2 chicken nuggets, 1 full chicken nugget and 1 half-eaten chicken nugget.
That's what I want. No. No.
All right. Wendy's gift cards it is.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Help another fat guy out. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, well, you can get fruit salad. You can get fruit smoothies at Wendy's.
From Wendy's?
Yeah.
With ice cream on it.
Yeah, that's better. That's called yogurt.
Yeah, and it's frozen. So, you know.
It tastes like fruit.
We're trying to help you out.
Yeah, it's like, I eat juicy fruit because of the vitamin C.
He said it tastes like fruit.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. And we love having fun here at the lunch table, even at the after school sessions of our lunch table. So again, please like this video, share this video. And again, thanks so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the awards.
It tastes like fruit.
Next time, all right? Oh God, food fight. Here come the lunch monitors. Bye, everyone.